Imagine looking into a mirror and seeing someone else staring back at you. Not your reflection, not anyone you know, but a figure that shouldn't exist, standing silently behind you, moving independently of the world around you, watching your every move. For Emma, this became terrifying reality the moment she brought an antique mirror into her new home, a beautiful, intricate piece gifted by a distant relative. Seemingly harmless until she began noticing subtle distortions, shadows that didn't match the room, faint movements in the glass that had no source in reality, and eventually, a figure, a man or something resembling one, standing directly behind her reflection, remaining perfectly still whenever she turned, yet inching closer each night, making her question whether the barrier between worlds was weakening, and soon, the mirror revealed more than mere presence, showing objects shifting on their own, lights flickering, her own reflection warping, her reflection no longer her own. And every night the figure grew bolder, raising a hand to mimic hers, whispering unintelligible messages that seemed meant only for her, until the truth began to emerge. The mirror had a dark past, previous owners reporting the same phenomenon, strangers appearing in reflections, whispers in the room, and some vanishing entirely, leaving only the mirror behind, and Emma realized she was not dealing with a reflection but with something alive, aware, trapped between worlds, and she had no idea what it wanted or why it had chosen her. After frantic nights, research into old books and newspaper clippings revealed a history of hauntings tied to the mirror, figures lurking unseen, and people disappearing mysteriously, yet even when she tried to hide it, cover it, or move it away, the knowledge of its existence, the faint presence lingering behind the glass, and the terrifying thought that it could appear anywhere at any time haunted her, leaving her to wonder if every mirror she looked into might one day reveal someone else, someone watching, waiting, and it begs the question. What would you do if your reflection suddenly wasn't yours, if a stranger appeared behind the glass staring into your soul? And have you ever experienced a reflection, a shadow, or a presence that didn't belong to this world? Share your story in the comments, because every tale adds to the mystery. And if you crave more real-life horror stories and unexplained mysteries, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because we explore the secrets most people are too afraid to face, uncovering shadows in the glass, whispers in the night, and the chilling truth that sometimes, the person staring back from the mirror isn't you at all. Imagine looking into a mirror and seeing someone else staring back at you, not your reflection, not anyone you know, but a shadowy figure standing silently behind you, unmoving yet somehow aware of your presence, moving independently of the world around you, its eyes following your every move, and at first, you convince yourself it's your imagination, that it's just a trick of the light or your own fatigue, but the figure doesn't disappear, and over the days, subtle anomalies start to appear. Objects in the room shift ever so slightly when you aren't looking, faint sounds echo behind you though no one is there, your reflection warps in impossible ways, and every time you glance into the mirror, you feel that undeniable chill that comes when you know something is not right. For Emma, this became terrifying reality the moment she brought an antique mirror into her new home, a gift from a distant relative, beautiful and intricate, polished to perfection, but as soon as it was placed in her bedroom, the air seemed to change, the room heavier, the shadows darker, and the faintest sense that she was never truly alone crept over her, at first subtle, a flicker in the reflection, a bend in the corner of the room that didn't exist, and then unmistakable, a figure, tall and dark, standing behind her reflection whenever she brushed her hair or adjusted her clothes, still as stone yet somehow inching closer each night, following her movements exactly, as if learning her habits, studying her fears. And the figure was not alone in its uncanny behavior, for each time she turned away, she saw objects subtly displaced in the mirror, chairs angled differently, picture frames slightly askew, lights flickering, reflections moving independently from reality, and her own reflection sometimes appearing distorted, warped, her eyes hollow, lips slightly twisted as if warning her that this was no ordinary mirror, that it carried memories, intentions, and perhaps something darker. Nights became unbearable, sleep impossible, whispers seeming to emanate from the mirror itself, soft, unintelligible words that grew louder with time, seeming to taunt her, echoing her innermost fears and regrets, until she realized this was not a reflection but a presence, a consciousness trapped between worlds, aware, patient, waiting, and desperate to interact, and the thought of what it wanted made her shiver. Did it want her? To replace her? Or simply to be seen? The history of the mirror revealed itself as she frantically searched old books, newspapers, and family records. Previous owners reported the same phenomena, strangers appearing in the reflections, voices whispering secrets, loved ones vanishing without a trace, all leaving behind only the mirror, and Emma began to understand the horrifying pattern, that the mirror did not simply reflect, it consumed attention, trapped minds in its glassy prison, revealing the thin veil between reality and Nightmare. One night, the figure moved in a way no reflection should, raising its hand as she raised hers, mimicking her actions but with an uncanny delay, and for a terrifying moment, it felt as if the barrier between worlds had cracked, as if her reflection were no longer hers, as if something had stepped out, reaching for her soul, and the panic, the adrenaline, the sheer disbelief coursing through her veins was almost too much to bear, yet she managed to flee, cover the mirror, hide it in storage, knowing full well the presence remained, lingering just behind the glass, patient and waiting for the next time someone looked, and even now, the thought of what lies behind every mirror makes her shiver, because the line between reflection and reality is thinner than we ever realize, and what if the next time you glance into a mirror, the person staring back isn't you, the shadow behind your reflection watching, waiting, aware of your every move? And have you ever seen a reflection that didn't belong to you, a presence that shouldn't be there, a shadow that moved independently of the room? Share your story in the comments, because every tale adds to the mystery, and if you want more spine-chilling, real-life horror stories, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because on this channel we uncover the secrets most people are too afraid to face, exploring shadows in mirrors, whispers in empty rooms, and the terrifying truth that sometimes, what looks back at you from the glass is someone, or something, else entirely, watching, waiting, and never letting go.